You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Man in Uncle Sam costume busted for lewd acts at Trump's State Fair report, based on an article by David Edwards. Patriotic, Pageant, Public Indecency, and the Politics of Costume. The source in brief: a Baltimore man, reportedly dressed in the Uncle Sam costume, was arrested on the National Mall during the opening day of Donald Trump's Freedom to 150 Patriotic celebration. Witnesses say he was seen making lewd gestures during a Cirque Mechanics performance. Police charged him with public indecency. Who actually held power? The man in overalls is not the center of the story. The real institutional power sat with the people staging the event, Trump's Freedom to 150 nonprofit, which turned the National Mall into a 16-day patriotic showcase under the banner of the American Canon. That is the setting with authority, money, branding, and the power to define what the day meant. The police and cops handled the aftermath as they always do, but they were responding to a spectacle already designed by political power. The arrest is the consequence. The event itself is the assertion. The costume is the point. The article leans hard on the Uncle Sam imagery because it is useful. It turns a public indecency case into a morality play. That framing is convenient but shallow. A man allegedly performing a sex act in public is not a political crisis. It is a misdemeanor. What matters politically is that the scene happened inside a deliberately choreographed nationalist pageant. The costume is not an amusing detail. It is the collision between American iconography and American hypocrisy. The story practically invites readers to laugh at the clown while ignoring the stage. The real misdirection: the weaker actor gets the spectacle. The stronger actor gets the branding. That is the familiar structure. A vulgar individual can be made to stand in for disorder, while the larger system that packaged patriotism as entertainment escapes scrutiny. The reporting does not accuse the event organizers of anything, and it should not have to. But the framing reveals how easily public attention is redirected toward the most contemptible visible figure instead of the institution that created the environment. This is how political theater works. The smallest actor is made legible. The largest actor is made normal. Order, decorum, and selective outrage. There is a neat conservatism in the setup. A patriotic celebration on the National Mall presents itself as civilizational ceremony. Then reality arrives wearing overalls and allegedly grabbing itself behind the stage. Suddenly the moral vocabulary kicks in: indecency, obscenity, disorder. But the underlying question is not whether public decency matters. It is why political elites invest so heavily in symbolic patriotism while offering only spectacle in return. They curate national identity as branding, then act surprised when the performance attracts chaos, fetish, or contempt. If this was meant to sanctify the American canon, it instead exposed how thin the pageantry is. The larger pattern: this is not just about one arrest. It is about the use of patriotic theater as cover for political legitimacy. When power cannot deliver substance, it leans on ceremony. When ceremony fails, it blames the most embarrassing person in the frame. That is the pattern: nationalism as stagecraft, discipline as optics, and accountability pushed downward onto whoever looks easiest to mock or arrest. The story is not that a man behaved indecently at a patriotic event. The story is that American political branding keeps building grand stages and then pretending the mess on them is the whole problem. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Roar Story for today's article, with the automated voice of Norman. Thanks for listening.